Greetings and welcome to my cooking channel. In this latest video, we will be delving into the essential knife skills every home cook should know. The purpose of this course is to help people gain confidence in using kitchen knives, especially for those who find it daunting. To make it easier, I have divided the course into manageable stages, each teaching a new cut or technique. Beginning from the basics, we will cover how to grip the knife comfortably and build on that, introducing different movements and cuts that will enhance your confidence. By the end of this video, with practice, you should feel more confident cutting vegetables, fish, meat, and other foods. My hope is that this course not only helps you gain comfort in using kitchen knives, but also that you enjoy it. With improved skills, the cooking process should become more enjoyable for you. How to choose a knife. When it comes to selecting a knife to purchase, the choices can be overwhelming. On this board, I have an assortment of knives, including a small one, a slightly bigger filleting knife with a flexible blade, a boning knife for butchery, a couple of large chef knives, and a bread knife. However, as a home cook, what do you really need? I suggest having a bread knife for obvious reasons, and a large chef's knife with a nicely weighted, broad blade that feels comfortable in your hand. It is also important to have a section on the blade that is wide enough to prevent your knuckles from hitting the board when cutting. As for material, a stainless steel knife will suffice without the need to splurge on anything expensive. My recommendation is to check out kitchen or catering supply websites for cheaper prices than retail stores, as they are designed for professional use. In the UK, bat is a great option for cooking equipment. In conclusion, a large stainless steel kitchen knife and a bread knife are all you need. Learning to slice safely. In this video, you'll learn the fundamental chopping technique and how to safely practice it. There are two ways to hold the knife. The first one is wrapping your hand around the handle, with your thumb at the side, creating a straight line with the blade. The second way is to pinch the blade between your index finger and thumb and wrap the other 3 fingers around the handle. Try both methods and see which one feels more comfortable. The guiding hand is essential to keep the fingers safe. You place the middle finger against the blade, with the index and ring fingers over it, and fold the fingers over the blade. The thumb and pinky fingers act as supporting fingers to stabilize the hand. When you chop, your forearm and fingers should point forward at a 45-degree angle. Ensure your head is close to the board so that you can see what you're cutting and keep your arms stable. The chopping motion is a go down and forward movement with a circular action that comes from the shoulder and elbow. To practice, use a baking tray with flour and a bench scraper, making sure to make even spaced marks on the flour. Keep practicing until you feel comfortable with the technique. Practicing slicing with celery. In this section, we will explore how to become proficient with a knife by slicing celery. Before we begin, it is essential to note that safety is a priority. To ensure safety, we need to secure both the chopping board and the celery. We do not want them sliding around on the work surface. To accomplish this, there are 2 methods. The first is to use anti-slip matting that comes in rolls and can be cut to size. The matting can be placed on the work surface, with the chopping board on top to keep it stable. The other method is to use a wet dishcloth or kitchen towel. Wet the cloth, scrunch it up, and then flatten it out before placing it on the work surface. Then, put the chopping board on top, and it will not slide around. Now, onto the intimidating part of the exercise, using the knife. Remember that you can use either the handle grip or the pinch grip, which involves gripping the blade with your index finger, thumb, and middle finger. We will cut the celery into uniform thickness pieces, just as we did with the flour. Try cutting the celery into approximately 3 to 4 mm thick pieces. Take it slow and steady, using your thumb and pinky to grip the celery in the back, supporting it and making it stable. If you feel uncomfortable, step back, reposition your hand, and start again. Repeat this process until you finish. This exercise is an excellent way to become comfortable with the knife, as it will be necessary for cutting all kinds of vegetables. Remember, practice makes perfect. How to make scoring cuts. Now, we will focus on the technique of scoring. Scoring means cutting into a vegetable, but not all the way through. Instead of creating a hole, you would stop the cut before reaching the end. This technique is commonly used with onions and shallots, which are essential ingredients in most dishes. Practicing this technique will help you cut onions quickly and easily. To start, take a piece of celery cut to the width of an onion, around 6 to 7 centimeters. Hold your knife in the claw grip and place it on top of the celery. Cut through the celery, but stop about a centimeter from the end, leaving a small gap. Try to make uniform slices by placing the tip of the knife first and then pushing down on the handle. Repeat this process until you reach the end of the celery. If it gets challenging towards the end, you can push the knife off and grab the end before making the final cut. Practice these movements until you feel more comfortable and they become more fluid. Once you master this technique, you'll find it much easier to cut any vegetable or piece of meat. How to make horizontal cuts. Let's take a look at the horizontal cut now because it's a useful technique. You'll need to know how to do it when you're dicing or mincing onions or cutting meat or fish off the bone. To begin, you should focus on your knife grip. The best way to get it right is to lay the blade flat on the cutting board and secure it with your guiding hand. You can then either grip the handle normally or use a pinch grip. This will ensure that your knife is properly positioned. Next, let's try the cut on a piece of celery that is about 5 centimeters wide. Hold the celery in front of you and apply slight pressure on the top to hold it in place. Then, gently slice into the celery without going all the way through, leaving about a centimeter at the end. Repeat this motion while lifting the knife slightly higher each time. Be careful to maintain a steady pace and pressure to create even slices. With a little bit of practice, you should be able to produce nicely uniform cuts. Remember to keep a little pressure on the celery and focus on the movement of the knife. Once you've mastered this technique, you'll find it easier to cut any vegetable or piece of meat. How to tunnel cut. Let's explore the tunnel cut now. This technique is used to divide long vegetables or produce in half, such as carrots, aubergine, or courgette. This celery piece is not suitable for a lengthwise cut, so we'll use the tunnel cut instead. First, position the knife tip where it needs to be, then stabilize the celery by pinching it with the guide hand. This creates a little tunnel for the knife to poke through. Next, push the tip through and then push the handle down. It's pretty straightforward. For longer vegetables like this celery piece, the process is similar. Place the tip where desired, stabilize the vegetable, push the tip down 3/4 of the way, lift the knife lightly, adjust, cut through, and then push the handle down. And that's how you do the tunnel cut. Keeping a knife sharp. Now let's discuss how to maintain the sharpness of your knife. Why is this important? Well, contrary to popular belief, a dull knife can actually be more dangerous than a sharp one because it can easily slip and cause injury. Additionally, a sharp knife makes cooking more enjoyable and efficient. There are two main methods for maintaining knife sharpness for home cooks. The first involves using a steel rod to sharpen the blade at a consistent angle, but this is not necessary for most home cooks. Instead, I will show you the easiest and most effective method, using a honing wheel. It's important to note that there are two types of wheels, honing and sharpening. Honing wheels straighten bent edges, while sharpening wheels remove material to restore the blade. For day-to-day use, honing is sufficient. To hone your knife, simply run it through the honing wheel a few times. If this doesn't restore sharpness, it may mean that the blade is damaged, in which case you will need to use a sharpening wheel. Run the blade through the sharpening wheel about 10 times, then hone it 10 times before testing the sharpness again. I recommend using a device with both honing and sharpening wheels for optimal maintenance. Remember, consistent maintenance is key to keeping your knife sharp and efficient. You can use a learning scheduler to make time for regular practice and reminders. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss any new videos. Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comment section down below, and feel free to stay safe and enjoy. Also make sure to check out our next highlighted video, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.